Hello, everyone. How are you? Ta-da-ta-da! It's D&D News. I'm Greg Tito, and I'm here to say we're gonna talk about D&D news on Tuesday, because that's the day that it is. It is what is it? It's April 16th. That means we are a month and 1 day away from the start of D&D Live 2019, The Descent. It is the event that everyone is waiting for, or at least probably everyone in this channel. How's it going, Ref Gemlin? Good to see you again. Ashley, hello. Hello, how are you? D. Classer, thank you for keeping it classy, as always. I have got a steaming hot cup of coffee, which makes everything feel better inside, I will have to say. I went for the non-dairy creamer today, which made me think, man, I want my creamer to be dairy. I don't want it to be non-anything. I want it to be dairy creamer. And I think I'm going to have to get a refrigerator here in the office so that I have real, products made from the milk of another mammal to put into the water that's strained through ground up beans that have been baked. Man, coffee's weird. You are all awesome, and I'm glad you're here. We are going to get ready for Dice Camera Action, episode 138. The Scarlet Marpanoth, which is a fantastically funny pun. If you didn't know, I feel like I have to explain it to you because it's something that made me laugh back when I was talking to Chris Perkins about this here D&D adventure, Waterdeep Dragon Heist. So Marpanoth is the name of the month in the Forgotten Realms calendar that corresponds to October. So Marpanoth equals October. You probably already figured it out from that. The Scarlet Marpanoth is a reference to a wonderful story involving a submarine vehicle and its captain that is defected. I won't go into the plot of that movie and or book by Tom Clancy. But it's a nice reference here by Mr. Perkins, which I always liked, and I hope at least one person during this episode of Dice Camera Action makes a Sean Connery impression joke. One thing only, please. All right, so there's no guests today. It's going to be the Waffle Crew and the Waffle Crew only, dealing with Jarlaxle and his submarine vehicle. So that should be tons of fun. Miranda, thank you for getting it right. You knew exactly where I was going. One ping only, please, is the one of my favorite go-to. The other one is there's things in here that don't react well to bullets. Yeah, like me. That was Alec Baldwin back when he was the young, spry leading man that he was. Really, just for that one movie. I guess he was in a lot of romantic comedies and stuff, but that was. He never really went into the full action, romantic star like a la Tom Cruise or, say the Harrison Fords or anything like that. He did this movie, could have gone that way, and he went completely other into comedic roles and or just, really dramatic other things. Some things I do want to make sure I talk about is there are lots of Wizards products that are in the market right now that you may not even know about. One of them is Tactical Maps Reincarnated. It is in game stores and other places now where you can get a whole bunch of maps that you can use if you use Theater of the Mind style. You can use that as inspiration for what encounters your Dungeons & Dragons players might get into. But you can also use them tactically, as the name says, for using miniatures and using the actual counting out of squares in order to get a more accurate map of where people are and where the monsters are in your play. I generally do use Theater of the Mind style when I'm playing, but I do see every once in a while folks around my table wanting to have more of that tactical information. So we have the miniatures, we have them there. I usually mostly use them for inspiration about what their character looks like and to have, you know, kind of a physical thing they can move around, but I haven't really gone into the exact counting of squares and not like you have to exactly count squares, but, you know, that idea of there being an accurate representation of positioning. I think, you know, there's definitely some battles and or encounters where that would be of use. So here's a great product that's out there if you don't have any other materials with which to create that kind of landscape for your fans. And by fans, I mean your players, because that's what fans are. Yes, I Bent My Tiefling says the group is kids, so they love the maps and they need the miniatures. I totally get it. It's awesome. There's also the core rulebook gift sets that are out there. I use these almost now exclusively as the versions of Dungeons and Dragons when I gift them to folks. It's a great way to get into the game. You have all three of the core rulebooks, including the Dungeon Master's screen and a nice cardboard slip case. The ones that are available everywhere are updates to the original covers from those three core rulebooks for 5th edition, but there is a alternate cover edition for those that it's available only in game stores that is, I think, pretty badass. I've seen people use, if nothing else, the Dungeon Master screen for that because it's like a Baroque work of art with the ornate, and now I'm thinking of recent tragedies, so pardon me for a second. But it's just beautiful, and I hope more people can check that out. It's only available in game stores, so if you are into it, go check them out if you can. You know, maybe use them as a way to get your friends into some fun stuff. All right. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Mario. Sad for all that stuff, but you know, there's some at least some happy news coming out of that today. For those of you who don't know, I'm talking about the tragedy of the burning of the Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris yesterday. Like everyone else, I was watching that with a lot of sadness and heaviness in my heart, but the amount of information that's come out today about what was at least recovered and saved, and that it will be rebuilt, is something to look forward to, but not a good thing overall for the world. All right, so let me show you off some fun stuff. So this is the thing. So Nerdist talked about the Stranger Things D&D starter set. Where the strength of this set lies is in its ability to demystify some of the elements of Dungeons & Dragons that make it feel inaccessible to people who have never played before, but quickly feel old hat to those who have been playing even for a short time. So that makes it a great introductory product, and I think I couldn't agree more. It's right there in the name of the product, the starter set. It's a great way to jump in. And I think even more so for fans of you know, the show of Stranger Things, you know, you get a little hint of what Dungeons & Dragons is all about by watching that show, so you might want to jump in, and here's a great, perfectly themed and flavored way to do that, and thank you to Nerdist for writing that up. A little throwback here from GameSpot. Father's Day 2019. Jeez, is it Father's Day already? They keep making up these holidays. I don't believe in Father's Day. It's basically might as well be Marpanoth, or Liar's Night, or all of the fun Faerunian holidays going on. It's made up. I don't believe in it. I'm a father all year long. You should be honoring me all year long. Same thing with Mother's Day. I'm like, why do I have to give my mom a gift on Mother's Day? I give her honor. You know, I should give her gifts all the time, but I don't do that. So never mind. Anyway. I digress, and I know that's probably unpopular opinions by Greg Tito. But Father's Day 2019, best gifts, ideas for gamer dads. Betrayal at House on the Hill. This game is awesome. Suspenseful and addictively fun. Betrayal has a ton of replay value with 50 unique scenarios that make the game different every time. I agree, and I just was looking at the commentary, and you're right. That is the stupidest thing for me to be talking about at this moment. It's just you know, that's the chaotic good person in me. I don't like structure or being told what to do on a specific day. It is what it is. But what I like about Betrayal at House on the Hill is the fact that you can play it however you want. There's definitely rules, but it's different every single time you jump in. And the... yeah, right, exactly. Where is the mom's one day for that, for sure? I will, if those exist, Ashley, you should make them if they don't exist. And you should, I'll definitely highlight it here on D&D News, so no problem there. Back to what I was talking about, Betrayal. Oh yeah, so there's 50 unique haunts, which they mentioned. There's an additional 50 haunts you can find in the Widow's Walk expansion. There is, of course, Betrayal at Baldur's Gate, which is a Dungeons and Dragons themed version of the Betrayal rule set, where you play as an individual D&D character exploring the city of Baldur's Gate, which is awesome. For those of you who are unfamiliar with what sets Baldur's Gate apart, this is something I didn't even know as a fan of D&D for a long time. If you were to say that Waterdeep is the city of splendor and a metropolis of different cultures and a generally positive, feeling city where order and law is kept up. Am I playing Magic and I've got upkeep? Kept up by the citizenry as well as the guilds. That's Waterdeep. Baldur's Gate is the complete opposite. Baldur's Gate is, relatively lawless. You can, it's basically what it's been described to me is like it's the Gotham of the Forgotten Realms in that it's dark. There is a connection to all that's not quite so positive about the human experience, and is full of cultists, of dangerous death gods and things like that. So, if you want to experience, and it definitely is more flavorful for a Betrayal game, so jump into those if you are interested. And then, of course, Betrayal Legacy is an amazingly ambitious storytelling game using the board game framework of a legacy game that was created by Rob Daviau. So check it out. If you can't now, I after the end of all that little pitch I just gave, now I want to make Rob Daviau make a Betrayal at Baldur's Gate legacy game, and it's basically a D&D campaign. All right, I like that. So that was that list, and also, I mean, now on keeping on that, there's another one from the AV Club. 3 tabletop games you should play right now. Courtesy of these two folks, which I don't know who they are, but they're awesome. Who are those people? Does anyone know who Rich Summer and Casey Dudrick? I feel like I should know who they are based on this. So I wanted to leave it up to you guys to tell me, because I'm sure I'm wrong. Where is it? Who are they? Are they in the dark? Oh, they're board gaming. Okay, so it's a thing from the AV Club. They do in the dark stuff, but they talk about what makes the Betrayal games that I was just already talking about so awesome. So I won't go into too much detail, but I do want to say if you have been looking for great tabletop game recommendations, look no further. Betrayal at House on the Hill, Betrayal Legacy. They are amazing, and they describe it alternately as phenomenal and a game that he would highly recommend due to its changing powers and structure, and that's Betrayal Legacy. So good stuff all around there. And one thing, I don't know if we actually added this in there. I asked Pelham to, but I don't know if he was able to. But this was something that I talked about a little bit last Tuesday. I saw all of the amazing D&D selfies, or hashtag D&D selfies, that were going around last week, and Mashable wrote it up in an article. They talked about it more in the context, or at least in the headline, about why they're posting selfies in spite of SNL, which I didn't necessarily even care about the SNL sketch. But look, Kiana, yay! And here the quote is, "We're out here being nerds now, and our brand of socially awkward is frankly much more entertaining." And for that, I couldn't agree more. D&D Selfie is there to remind folks that D&D doesn't look like pocket protector-clad nerds from the 80s. It certainly does not. And I think the D&D Selfie movement should continue. So those of you out there, make it be a thing. It is amazing, and I want more and more out there. And one thing that I said last time was for us to do more of these, and I don't know if they made it in. We've been a little bit busy here on the D&D team. It doesn't look like it, but there is always room for more D&D selfies out there, so I'll make this a call to action to you. Post more. Don't let that hashtag die. Continue to proliferate your selfies from the D&D table, even my ones about what's happening here on D&D News as well as on the channel. Let's make it a thing. Let's get a more positive outlook about what Dungeons and Dragons players are like trending around the world. And you needed to trill the R on that when you say around the world. And it is already happening with the rise of streaming and the amount of D&D content that is proliferating on places like Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and things like that. But I think having it be consolidated under that one hashtag is badass, and I want to continue making it be a thing. So thanks for that. Oh yeah. Oh, one other fun thing. I don't think I have a. Do I have it? Oh yeah, I do. Okay, here you go. Check this out. I don't like to toot my own horn or bang my own drum, as the case may be, but this is something that is pretty exciting. At least you can see it in this headline here. That Dungeons and Dragons won a Drum Marketing Award for the Stream of Many Eyes in the category of event/experiential category, which is actually perfectly encapsulated to what the Stream of Many Eyes was all about. It was an event, but it was certainly an experience. You had to be there to really kind of absorb all of the happiness and positivity that that D&D selfie energy was on display at the Stream of Many Eyes. I can't tell you the amount of happy tears and smiles and laughter I heard while that event was going on, and it's showing by getting so many of the awards that it's gotten. So we won a Marcom Platinum Award last November, which is fantastic. It's a huge honor, and the Drum Marketing Awards was just announced last Thursday, so that's really exciting. I tweeted about it to Greg Tito on Twitter. Look back in my feed about Thursday, and then I also followed up with talking about, or at least sharing the thread that I did on Twitter after the event around like June 7th, and that basically served as a credits for the event. We don't do credits for conventions very often. You don't see those, but most of the people that touched what was happening with the Stream of Many Eyes, I was able to find a picture and write a little something in a tweet form about what they did and how much I appreciated all the work they did on it. So that's my little 62, 63 tweet long credit page for all the people that contributed to make D&D's event Stream of Many Eyes a success, and we're working really hard for the next one, for D&D Live 2019, The Descent. Again, it's only a month away, but it's really exciting, and I'll go into more detail about that in the second half hour of this as we get going, talking more about some fun D&D stuff. So yeah, that was the Drum Marketing Awards. Here is something that I'm not sure you are aware of, and actually this is the first picture I've seen of it. I've heard people talking about it, but in Renton, Washington, which is where the Dungeons and Dragons and Wizards of the Coast offices are, there's a museum going up, right? It's a museum. Now I need to make sure I'm getting this right. It is a public art installation in connection with the Renton's Municipal Arts Commission. It's being created by Marcia Rollinger, and it is a dragon atop a building, as you can kind of see poking out there. And it is pretty awesome. The artist says that the building has some settling from seismic damage. There's old scars. There was a crack that has been repaired at the top, and we thought, how can we play off of that? Because it looked like something hit the building from the top pretty hard. And so they decided to make a dragon. And it looks pretty amazing. There's going to be, I'm told, there's going to be some smoke and fog effects that are going to come out of the dragon as it opens, which is very soon, if I'm not mistaken. Pretty awesome. I can't wait to go check it out. It's really been, it actually opened the lighting event opened on Saturday, April 13th. So that already occurred, and I can't wait. And we gave out lots of stuff there to donate to for the opening. But it's going to be there. And if you are in town, I know a lot of people sometimes visit Renton on if they're visiting Seattle, if they're fans of the games that are produced out of this building. So put that on your list to go check out if you can. The dragon atop that building. Pretty cool. Yeah, for sure. So I'm just reading through the chat here. Yeah, that picture of Dustin, that's my hand, of Dustin addressing the crowd is one of my favorites too. Dustin Fletcher, Flash Fletch here in the chat, was integral to making that event happen. I don't think I could have done it without his help in wrangling all of the cosplayers and making sure they knew what was what, that they had all the supplies they needed, and he used all of his skills. And I don't know if anybody really knows this, but he did it mostly on a volunteer basis. He came to the event because he wanted to, and again, we are forever in his debt, and I believe he will be at D&D Live, The Descent, and doing a lot of those same things, as well as being a cosplayer and an amazing Dungeon Master on D4. So thank you, Dustin, for all of your work, as well as, can't wait to see you in LA in a month's time. That's going to be awesome. So we can talk about that event a little bit more. There is a schedule that I'm mostly done with, and then we'll be posting pretty soon. May 17th through the 19th, we are going to announce the new Dungeons & Dragons storyline from this event. You'll find out on May 17th. It's pretty amazing, and I can't wait to share it with you all. If you've been watching all of the content over the last couple of months, you might be able to have a few guesses about what is to come, but I guarantee you none of you have figured it out in its entirety, so that's pretty amazing. The event is going to be from the same place, so it's going to be at Line 204 Studios in California. We have, I don't know if we've ever told anyone about this, but we did sell out of the badges that we made available. 3-day badges from the event are now sold out. We may be opening up some new ones soon, but those who already have a badge will be able to play in a Dungeons & Dragons epic created by our friends in the Adventurers League. And an epic is, for those who don't know, a room of people playing Dungeons & Dragons, not just one table and having a discrete setting. No, it is over 20 tables. Everybody in the room is all playing. They all have their own squads with their own dungeon masters, but they're all playing in a meta game that is going to be affected by decisions from some people in the room at the other table and whatnot. What we got planned for that is kind of off the chain. There's going to be lights, there's going to be sound, there's going to be costumed NPCs who will be delivering choices and improvising with some of the players. Some of those improvised cosplayers will be amazingly fun. At least I'm hoping they'll be fun, but it'll be it'll blow your socks off. Is that a term? Can I use that? It'll blow your socks off? I don't think that's a term I shouldn't say. I said it twice. It's probably a bad call, but it's going to be amazing. And so, yeah, you'll be able to play in the event the next day and all be themed for the adventure that is announced the night before. There's going to be 3 sessions of that D&D epic, as well as a complete takeover of that studio to make it feel like you are within whatever the setting of the adventure is. All of the, or many of our D&D partners will be there. They'll be in costume. They'll be, displaying their wares in an area that will look on theme for the adventure. And then there are 4 studio pods, is what we're calling them. Smaller studios, about the size of like this room or the other room where we do stuff here on the D&D Twitch channel from the building, set up for D&D play for many of our streaming groups, podcasters, YouTubers, a whole bunch that will be amazingly or creating amazing content over the course of Saturday and Sunday. And then on Friday and Saturday night, we've got some heavy hitter main stage performances happening in a continuous storyline that I was just working on with the Dungeon Masters. We got Kate Welch, Jeremy Crawford, Chris Perkins, another surprise Dungeon Master that we might be announcing this Friday, all telling a grand story over Friday and Saturday. Evening performances, so like about 8 hours of content there. 8 hours? I guess 8 hours of content there. And then Sunday nights, we have a live rock music performance full of some of your favorite performers from the community, as well as some new ones that we're welcoming into the Dungeons & Dragons world to check out, one of which is called Magic Sword. They're kind of an EDM techno group that uses a lot of fantasy imagery and lighting in their performances. Chris Funk from the Decemberists is putting this entire playlist together, and he's going to be backed up by a band called Cardioid, and they have an album and a T-shirt called Fantasy Metal with a unicorn kind of. I'm doing this but you can't see, but that makes playing guitar. This is playing guitar. It's amazing. I can't wait. We're still putting together the exact details of that and what we'll be performing at that thing. But it is great. And so the last thing I didn't mention was the interactive game that's going to be happening over this entire event. And that's put on by a group called Sunweaver Creative. They are the folks behind the Labyrinth Masquerade in Los Angeles. So those of you who are familiar with that, it's fantastic. They will have costumed characters who will be delivering content, improvising with just the attendees. And if you go through and meet and experience every single piece of that content, you'll get an exclusive kind of piece of D&D loot. Did I mention the loot? Everyone will receive a huge swag bag that's got an item basically from every vendor and partner that is coming to the event, in addition to amazing Dungeons & Dragons stuff. In addition to a copy of Ghosts of Saltmarsh, the first copy that you'll be able to... I gotta make sure and get the warehouse to send those copies. Everybody's gonna get a copy of that. So $50 value right off the bat in your swag bag, in addition to all the fun stuff in there before anybody else gets it. So lots of things happening. Those of you who are unable to attend, which are most of you, I'm going to say, you will all be able to watch most of what I just was talking about online. It will be on this channel, twitch.tv/DND. We're working on some fun ways to make that content work for a lot of different platforms. We might have things like YouTube Gaming and Facebook and Mixer and all the rest of those. So those folks who like to use those platforms, you'll be able to watch some of the content through there, as well as Twitch, and it'll all be out there. Many of our partners and streamers will be using their own specific channels that we'll be hosting. So the goal is to get out as much material from this event as we possibly can, and the robust schedule that we've got in front of us will hopefully ensure that. So looking forward to it, and I've been talking about it for months and months and months, and I can't wait to talk about it more in the months to come until it's finally happening, and then I will sleep. Maybe. Until I have to start planning the next one. Guess what, guys? It is what I like to call D&D Rewind time. All right. You guys ready for this? D&D Rewind is, of course, the segment of this show where we play the D&D Rewind video that's created by the amazing Steve Sprinkles, highlighting some of the best clips from the last week here on D&D Twitch. So that's it. I'll tell you more about it after this plays, but you all ready? Because here it goes.
And Penelope, you take that piece of home. Wherever that is, that's where home is. Okay. We will come for you. We will come for you. See you in a few days.
Oh, Kara, well...
When you entered the room, you didn't enter through a door.
I did not.
I have a friend who tells me that he's not always here, and sometimes he is somewhere else.
I am also not always here. And sometimes somewhere else.
I'm sorry, can we stop speaking in riddles?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. And if Blue's not following...
We were speaking directly. It's just a very confusing concept that I'm still wrapping my head around.
All right, so there we have some photos from the Adventurers League play around the place. This one is from Table Taft Board Game Cafe in Metro Manila in the Philippines. How crazy is that? And here's what they say. Here are some pictures from Greasy Snitch's Beginner's Guide to the Upside Down 4 event. It is the 4th D&D Adventurers League mini-event hosted by Tabletop Board Game Cafe, where Dungeon Masters from the Greasy Snitches, a tabletop events group, set up games for new and first-time players, mostly college students and Stranger Things enthusiasts. 7 tables were set up. Lots of players finally experienced some good old role-playing, natural 20s, and the frustration of rolling natural 1s.
I was still looking for Mercy, so now that the mists have parted, do I see her?
All 6 of you are in the same spot.
Okay.
Within 30 feet of each other.
I'm gonna run slow motion across a field of flowers towards Vasily.
Oh my gosh. There are no flowers, but there are a couple of dead bodies. So you can run across those.
It's like the same. That's what I meant.
Yeah,
translating
absolutely.
to Ravenloft.
Yeah, like their entrails are flying up in slow motion. It's beautiful. There's an eyeball.
Think of it as are you doing anything with that corpse? Any of you? Pieces of shit. I'm talking to the goblins.
The goblins are all reverted into feral, like, goblin murder party mode. You look over and you see one of them smearing blood all over their face and just being like, "Wah!" And like they're basically all just like screaming and like tearing pieces off of Yek. One of them is peeing on his throne.
No, stop! Don't ruin my corpse.
I want to play D&D on a boat. Like, it's...
Yes.
Yeah, just going around.
Aquatic druid.
Oh my gosh.
Swashbuckler rogue.
Getting some Sahugin, or however you say that, back up in here. Sahagin?
What? Really? I say Sahuagin. Okay, go to D&D Beyond. They have pronunciation. You can hear Matt Mercer or Marisha Wright pronounce it. I had no idea.
Oh, no, you haven't heard that? They go, they're like, troglodyte.
Absolutely livid.
I told you.
Like divine fury, sort of.
He just looks defeated. I told you.
Next time we tell you to do something, listen to us.
I told you. I told you what would happen if you stuck with me, and here we are. Don't worry.
Do you not have remorse?
Yes, of course I do. I'm going to do everything in my power to save her, but this is my
Then
head.
fine, and I let go of him.
I fall.
All right, good stuff all around. There was definitely a lot of D&D news inception there. I'm gonna have to make a note not to do that there. Yeah, right. I think maybe we'll do this clip of me talking about this clip about me talking about this clip, and then the miniatures will be rolling and rolling and rolling around and around and around. So I did a little bit of a costume change. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there it is. Yay! There's a tank top over the shirt I was already wearing, so I'm already doing my own D&D ampersand Inception thing going on there. So I like to incept all around town. But that was one of the next things I wanted to talk about before I get to Adventurers League news was the 2019 Lambert House fundraisers. You can gear up for Pride Month in June and help support LGBTQ youth in the community of Seattle, as well as that stuff. And we did this promotion I think the last 2 years, but last year was where it really took off. And there's even more kind of merchandise available, both in the rainbow ampersand as well as the rainbow Planeswalker symbol for Magic fans out there. You can get a trucker hat. Why would you? But you can get a trucker hat, a unisex shirt, women's t-shirts, tank tops, as I said, hoodie. There's a tote. I do love a cotton tote myself, so grab one of those if you can. There's a vinyl banner, pop sockets. Everybody loves the pop sockets. I don't yet have a pop socket on my phone, but all of the proliferance of pop sockets has made me think about getting one. I'm sorry, yeah, this is like unpopular opinion edition of D&D news here. Maybe I'm just showing my age on the trucker hat type thing. But you can if you want. You know, everybody to each his own. It's not a style of hat that I enjoy. But you may do so. You can also get magnets. You can get notebooks. I know a lot of people have a notebook collection. This is a great way to pick one up, as well as rainbow sunglasses. What is a pop socket? I see Gray Raven say in there. I don't have one to show you, but maybe when Pelham comes back in later on, it's a thing that you can. It goes on the back of your phone, and then it's a little circle, and it helps you be able to hold the phone a little bit easier. You can also pop it out, hence the name pop socket, and then you can use it as a stand. You know, when you're putting it down on a surface, it'll hold your phone up. So you don't have to hold it at a 90-degree angle or whatever to watch. I'm explaining pop sockets. I'm sorry. I feel like I had to, Lisa. My bad. But in any case, you can get all of those with those rainbow logos from the link that was posted. I think it was posted in there, but it'll be on there again. And all the proceeds for that go to support the Lambert House in supporting youth. Here in the Seattle area. They're expanding out to other counties within the area, but it is a fantastic charity, and I support it 100%. So jump into it if you can. All right, let's go on to some Adventurers League news as I skip through here to the... Okay, good. Ooh, I want to make sure... Don't let me forget the Warriors of Waterdeep trailer for those of you who are able to help me, because I want to show you that again. Okay, so Adventurers League. So, what is Adventurers League, you may ask? Well, it is D&D's official play campaign, which means you can create an AL character and take them to your friendly local game store, a convention, on the top of the Washington Monument, on the bottom of the Washington Monument, anywhere you want to play Dungeons & Dragons that you can, bring this character to and feel like you are integrated with all that's going on. There's tons of small content, or online. Yes, Ancient Red Dragon says online. You can find all this content on Dungeon Masters Guild. I'll get to that in a second, but that's where we have a lot more of the bite-sized content that's available. Adventurers League fans, and this is the actual news for this week, are curious whether Ghosts of Saltmarsh will be AL legal, which means basically will it be in the ecosystem of an Adventurers League, and I can share, that's me, I can share, that it will be! But full details and other exciting storyline stuff will be coming out very soon in the issue of Dragon Plus that is going to be dropping any day now, Bart Carroll. And it's awesome. So there are 3 articles about the Adventurers League in particular, including how to put Saltmarsh in your Adventurers League play. So look for that. What is Dragon Plus, you might say? It is an app that you can get for your Android phone or your iOS phone. It doesn't matter. Any type of phone you have, even flip phones, has Dragon Plus. But you can also access that content on dragonmag.com online at any browser. It's bi-monthly content. It comes out 6 times a year, full of interviews, previews, things that are coming up, more information, as well as highlighting awesome stuff that's happening in the community. So check out Dragon Plus if you are not already in that ecosystem. So I want to show some fun Adventurers League photos of people playing Adventurers League from Utah. So, Saturday, April 6th, we teamed up with Jasper's Game Day to bring the epic, the Iron Baron, to Utah. We teamed up with the local game store, Dark Prime Gaming. 27 players showed up to fill 6 tables. We were able to raise almost $600 in donations and had a blast doing it. These folks look like they're having tons of fun. I love all the different generations of people playing. Good times. Aw, look at those kids playing. They're having a great time. Jasper's Game Day, for those of you who don't know, is an event put on by an amazing dungeon master by the name of Fenway. She raises money through Jasper's Game Day in order to help suicide prevention and talking about the issues of depression in the gaming world. So great cause. I fully support it, and I love that this group from the local game store, Dark Prime Gaming, raised that much money for the thing. You can submit photos for your Adventurers League group by emailing community@dsl.com. dndadventurersleague.org. Give a little blurb about what your group is all about, a little shout out. I'll read it here and share whatever information you want shared out there. It's pretty fun. Send them to Lisa, Merciful DM, there in the chat, and we'll get them in there. So we're gearing up for episode 138 of Dice Camera Action, happening in about 17 minutes. The name of this episode is the Scarlet Marpanoth, and if you're interested as to what that means, watch the beginning of D&D News. All right, so Dungeon Masters Guild. Let's talk about Dungeon Masters Guild. So not only can you find all of the Adventurers League content that I mentioned, and those are shorter, smaller adventures, similar to what you might have found in a Dungeon or a Dragon magazine back in the day. That all lives in the Dungeon Masters Guild now. There's tons of adventures that you can jump into, modules, use however you want. And it's also a place for Dungeon Masters and any creative person who's doing stuff with Dungeons & Dragons to publish and make some money off of it. So check it out if you can. It's the only way you can publish adventures that use Wizards of the Coast IP like Ravenloft, Forgotten Realms, Ravnica, and other settings, heroes, and more. Over the weekend, the writers of Uncaged Anthology ran a 24-hour charity stream for RAINN, RAAINN, sorry. You know what I'm trying to say. The nation's largest anti-sexual violence organization, and they raised more than $4,000. That's 4 times the goal. Congratulations. Awesome stuff. You should definitely check out Uncaged on Dungeon Masters Guild. It's a wonderful anthology that subverts tropes of female mythological creatures and monsters. Their second volume is coming out in May, and they revealed the cover. This cover right here is volume 2. Check it out. Illustrated by Samantha Darcy, and I love all of the artwork I've seen from these products, both Uncaged Volume 1 and Volume 2, and this one is awesome. This is the first time I'm seeing it, actually. So is she immersed in water and her face is the only thing appearing? That's awesome and creepy, and I love it, and I suggest you check out this product if you can. Speaking of great collaborative projects on DM's Guild, you should check out this wonderful product called Villains and Lairs 2. Electric Boogaloo. By Jeff Stevens, Ann Gregerson, Alex Klippinger, and Emily Smith, and a bunch more of the community creators. I could just list them all, but I would basically be talking until Dice Camera Action starts. You can revolutionize your game with this collection of 24 villainous NPCs from Small Fry to World Ender, 8 of which include maps and details of their lairs, sinister side quests, terrifying overlords, bounties, one-shots, and more lie in wait for you inside this book. If that weren't enough, each NPC also includes an image, backstory, motives, flaws, and a curated stat block. I really love these collaborative products on the Dungeon Masters Guild. It's part of what makes this D&D community of creators really awesome. They all come together. It's not just a marketplace or a platform to publish your stuff. It's a community where people lift each other up and talk about each other's great products, and that's what I'm aspiring to do here on this D&D News program, as well as hopefully getting more aspiring writers and designers on board with Dungeon Masters Guild. So I salute those of you who have published and are doing Pelor's work on Dungeon Masters Guild, and here's to bringing more into the fold. Huzzah. So, what else can I talk about? Well, you know what? I want to make sure I get to the amazing trailer from Warriors of Waterdeep. This is a game that's available on your phone. I've used my phone as a prop like 4 times in this D&D news segment, which is odd. I don't normally do that. But Warriors of Waterdeep is a game from Ludia. It is coming out everywhere this spring, most likely in May. That's next month. They are going to be Ludia, and the folks behind that are going to be at D&D Live 2019 The Descent, so you'll get to play around with them. They will be, I'm told, in costume and participating in all the fun storytelling that's going on with that event. it would have been a slam dunk for them to do that during the Waterdeep event, but the game just wasn't, it was still being developed. But now it is going to be releasing worldwide. It's already available in Canada and testing that market out there. But it's getting up to stuff, and it looks pretty fun. So check it out. Here is a trailer explaining a lot more of what it's all about. Ooh, sorry, did that go too high in the volume there? I saw the embiggened badger say that. My bad. That might have just been the way the settings were here. We use the Stream Deck here, so I'm just pushing buttons. So I don't like to often blame myself, but I would blame Tito on that one. So some other fun stuff I just want to make sure everyone is aware of. So, this is, actually, nope, never mind. This is what I want to talk about. So, Acquisitions Incorporated is coming out on June 18th. It is a book that provides all of the flavor you need to jump into a game that will feel hopefully very similar to what it's like in all of the PAX Live games that you've seen over the years, over the last decade, really. The book was written by members of all of the Penny Arcade team, as well as some amazing freelancers, some of which might be in the chat right now. So, cheers to you. The book is 224 pages. It contains adventures. It contains all you need to create your own chapter of Acquisitions Incorporated. Again, all of the flavor of the madcap fun of what happens on those pack stages. So jump into it if you can. They will also be there at D&D Live The Descent 2018. D&D Live 2019 The Ascent. D&D Live The Descent 4022. It's amazing, and they're going to be there, and I can't wait to hang out with my friends at the and Penny Arcade. They're really good stuff. The other thing I wanted to make sure everybody knows about was Ghost of Saltmarsh. We mentioned it already. There will be copies of this in your swag bag at D&D Live. But this adventure is designed for taking your party onto the high seas. Levels 1 through 12. There's adventures that go from each of those. It is an update of adventures that have been published before, but those updates are basically making it a whole new kind of product. It is, based generally on the U series of adventures that came out in the early 80s from the TSR UK team. That included, The Sinister Secret of Saltmarsh, Danger at Dunwater, all those ones. But there's other adventures added to this book from Dungeon Magazine and Dragon Magazine over the years that were having to do with pirates and things like that. There's 2 covers available. The one on the left here is the standard cover art of the boat on the waves with the Kraken behind it. That one's by Gregor Zrutkowski. That's available everywhere. The alternate cover art is by N.C. Winters of the Sahuagin, snarling, dripping. It's got that soft touch feel like Volo's Guide to Monsters and Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, with some metallic kind of shiny elements in there too. So pretty sweet. I can't wait. And again, everyone who comes to D&D Live 2019 will get a standard copy, not the alternate cover copy, but a standard copy in their swag bag, and I can't wait for folks to crack that open and start releasing it. Release the Kraken! Brum, brum, brum. All right. We already talked about the Stranger Things D&D role-playing game starter set. That is in some people's hands already. The official street date for that was, I think, May 1st, but it is out there in the wild. Lots of people reviewing it. Lots of people having unboxings and things like that. I hope you are jumping into it as well. It is fun. It is good stuff. And another fun thing I want to make sure everyone knows about is the Endless Quest books are getting 2 new. So Matt Forbeck is the author. He did 4 Endless Quest books last year. Each of them are pick your path adventures. You read through them. There's a choice that you can make, and you skip to another page and then continue the story that way. There are 4 of those out there in the wild right now, all based on different classes: fighter, wizard, rogue, cleric. I was going to say rogue thief, and I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, buddy. But there's 2 new ones that are coming out this year. One is called Escape from Castle Ravenloft, in which you escape Strahd's lair before you are doomed to remain there forever. And in that one, you're playing as a cleric. The other is the Mad Mages Academy. It's a rogue adventure where you must steal the spellbook of Hallister Blackcloak himself from inside the halls of his magic academy in Undermountain, which should be pretty cool. Speaking of Strahd, I was just looking at old pictures of the TwitchCon game that we played on the TwitchCon main stage with Chris Perkins dressed as Strahd in all of its glory. It was amazing. We had props that light up all of the fun sun swords and things like that. If you haven't seen that, I highly suggest jumping in and watching that again. Chris Perkins is now going to be my favorite nickname for Perkins going forward. And he did a fantastic job, as did the entire Waffle crew and our guests. WWE superstar Xavier Woods, not to mention the inimitable Felicia Day playing a ghost spirit character, and Malik Forte. So very exciting. I can't wait to see more. Chris Perkins is one of my favorite Strahd characters out there. Reading through some of the chat here. I know, right? Sakamatana says the Felicia Day moment of her falling from the couch definitely made my day. I laughed out loud in the audience, and I continued to laugh as every time I thought about that. The ghost who fell off the couch. I feel like that's a murder mystery title or something like that we should put in there and write. Somebody write the short story for that one, okay? Codaster, I was just reminiscing about last year's TwitchCon and how amazing that went, and thinking about what to do for the TwitchCon this year. Maybe we'll do something similar, or not. I don't know. We'll see. Always like to change and evolve as things go on. Oh, that's a good idea. Phaon 1001 is make it a D&D adventure module. The ghost that fell off a couch. All right, for once, I am going to get out of here in time so you guys can prepare for Dice Camera Action episode 138. Again, it is called The Scarlet Marpanoth, and I'm sure you will figure out exactly what that means as you watch this amazing episode. So look for it. It's going to start in just about 4 minutes. You guys are all awesome. I will be back next week. We have an amazing Dragon Talk going on this Friday, where I will discuss more about Ghosts of Saltmarsh with Wolfgang Bauer and Steve Winter about their contributions to that adventure. So if you're interested in more, piratey type seafaring stuff, watch that. We start recording at 12 noon on Friday, but that will be also published on the Dragon Talk RSS feed soon. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much. You are fantastic as always. And we will see you on the other side. Bye-bye.